Hello, it's Friday, September 26 here in Manila. I'm Caroline Howard sitting in for Karen Davila, giving you the head start for the day. We have a jam-packed show as we feature the cast and crew behind the Noli, Tangere, as well as two of the finalists of the Hilig Handog Pinoy Pop Love Songs 2014. But first, here are your headlines. We'll just take a quick break. When we return, talented youngsters from the cast of Noli, Tangere, the opera will join us on Hot Copy. Stay tuned. On Hot Copy is a novel exposing the ills of Philippine society. Jose Rizal's Noli, Tangere almost never saw the light of day. Considered subversive for its portrayal of corruption and abuse by the Spanish government, it was published in Berlin, Germany in 1887 and banned in the Philippines, prompting Rizal's exile to Dapitan. Over a century since, it has been translated to many languages and made required reading by Filipino students, and celebrated for both its medium and its message. In 1957, it was brought to stage as an opera and has been restaged and brought to stage yet again by world-class Filipino talents into high art Filipinos can be proud of. After sold-out performances in New York and Washington, this month Noli, Tangere, the opera makes its way to the Philippine stage, bearing lessons as relevant today as a century ago, both a testament and reminder of the Filipinos' patriotic spirit. Joining us in the studio now are stage actors Egoo, Velasco, and also with us is Yapjoco playing Basilio and Crispin. Very young guys. Thank you for coming to the show. You are, how old are you now?
I'm 12
You're 12 and you are 9, right, Mari? But you're playing the roles of a 10-year-old Basilio and a 7-year-old Crispin. Now, for a lot of people, opera is actually something not kids would watch.
Yeah.
Go, yes.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never really liked the idea of opera. But then, it's really the music that drew me in. The beautiful music that was made by Felipe De Leon. And also, honestly, I've never read Noli, Tangere, but
I understand Mary did.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
The very idea of me being in a Noli, Tangere opera was beautiful.
But you've never really been a stranger to stage.
Yeah.
You performed
I've
before.
been on stage for 3 years. This is just something really new for me. And I love exploring new things.
We'll get into how exactly this experience has been, but Mary, I understand you read this book from cover to cover.
Yes.
How long did it take you exactly, and what was that experience like?
Well, because for me, I love reading books.
Okay.
And when I read books, I really understand it. So for this Noli, Tangere, I did understand. And what made me join to the Noli is about music like that. And Noli, Tangere is about our culture, about how our ancestors lived before. Yes, and it also tells how the Spaniards maltreated the Filipinos.
Sa ngalan ng hari, buksan ang pintuan! Kung magmamatigas, aming tatadyakan!
Jago!
Ituring mong ika'y isang bilanggo ng hari ng bayan. Ako'y nakahanda. Marahil naman ito'y sandali lang. Mga mukhang di tatalilis, di nagagamitin itong aming lubid. Kapag nangas ka,
Isn't it like a heavy subject? Kids your age should be like expectedly watching something else or doing something else.
Yeah,
So it's actually a very heavy piece, and in fact, it involves a lot of crying.
Yeah.
Right? Because your story as Crispin and Basilio is a very dramatic scene to begin with. How did you even begin to audition for this role? What was that experience like?
Well, we had to practice a lot. I usually practice with my voice lesson teachers, like Teacher Louie and
Because
such.
again, this is something that you've always been doing.
And another thing was that I had to trim down the fats and lose weight.
Oh, so that was the initial challenge, playing this role.
Yeah.
Okay.
That and really feeling what Basilio felt. Me and your mom dying, you really have to get into that character, so put yourself in that shoes.
But this was something you managed to do, Mari?
Yes.
How different was this experience? I understand you've been singing since age 3.
Yeah.
But what's it like singing in an opera?
Well, this one, when you're singing, when you're singing in an opera, it needs to be long, and whenever you sing, there should be a vibrato part when you're singing.
And you mentioned vibrato. Maybe at this point we'd like to hear exactly a number from both of you, either of you. Who goes first?
Okay.
Give us a sense of what playing Basilio's like.
Well, Basilio only
Egoo.
has one song,
Okay.
an aria.
And this scene is?
And this is, spoilers, this is the scene where his mom dies.
Okay.
And Basilio's weeping over her dead body.
Okay.
So, me and Mary will sing the part.
Go ahead.
But we'll start in the middle.
Yeah. Aking inang sinisinta, itilat mong iyong mata. Ako ngayon nag-iisa, si Crispin may wala na. Bakit ako'y inulila?
Aking inang minumutya, kasama ko ngayon wala. Masdan ako tabang-aba, mga matay pigtang-pigta. Aking inang minamahal, huwag mo akong pabayaan. Ako'y iyong babantayan, kahit wala ka na, ina.
Was it easy for you guys to get into this role, or was it a challenge?
It was a challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
Just what was that like?
Because really, I was just, usually when I do my theater, I'm just some happy little child
That's
or
right.
some funny little character. So being a kid like Basilio that lost his mother is really a new thing for me. I never really cried before as hard because I never experienced what he did. So I just imagine that it's my mother that's dead on the floor.
But even the story of Crispin, I understand that. What was Crispin's role there? How did he actually get into that situation? He was accused of theft, right?
Yeah. Well, Crispin and Basilio represents the youth and the future of the Filipinos. Yes. Then, like the other cast, each cast has a representation, and so you need to get deep into the story before you can understand.
So really, it is a very symbolic piece. No
Yeah.
wonder it's been picked up and now in this production. But in terms of the production itself, I've seen parts of the clip. It's an interesting staging, actually. Very colorful work. Maybe describe those scenes to us, or the set.
Oh yeah, the people that, it's really beautiful because our producer Jerry Sabah really worked hard on the costumes. So everything is fantastic. The costumes are so colorful and really tells us how they dressed at the time. And Resorts World has blessed us with a great LED background where we can...
Not to mention the Manila Philharmonic is playing with it, right?
Especially, you don't need to worry about not understanding it because there are English subtitles on top, so no problem.
So everyone can follow this story. But as you do follow this story, part of what you're in there for is really acting. And you're working with adults. Is that new to you?
For me, not. Because before I already worked with them, but not opera. It's like just a stage play, Broadway.
But what's the best part about being in this particular production? That's for both of you.
People might think opera singer is really sad and gloomy, but they're really exciting. They're really funny, and they're real people, college students actually. And it's just like hanging out with friends and classmates, except professional singer-like people.
And is that the same for Mary?
Well, for me, it is very wonderful because because other people like this, it's not only like emotional, and some of the people when they watch opera they just sleep.
That's true.
Yes, but the truth is it can make you feel light or carried because the music is smoothly going on, tapos it's really funny, tapos it has many kinds that will make you laugh, sad, emotional, like
Thank you for the introduction, but I'm curious also, what was your favorite part in this particular production? Egoo. Or Mari, whoever goes first. Favorite part, whether behind the scenes or actually on stage.
Well, for me, it's the killing of Crispin because it's in my part is the most
dramatic.
Emotional, dramatic, yeah.
And the most challenging, I suppose.
Yeah.
For me, my favorite scene is the liwaliwag.
What's that?
It's like, I'm going to describe it to you. They're in a river and they're cooking their breakfast, the ladies and the men. It's just that I love it because so much stuff is happening backstage and in front. We need to worry about the LED lights, the crocodile, and the way they sing. It's a flirtatious scene, but then there's also drama and excitement.
You as artists, of course, this is not just the beginning for you. You've been at it. What are your future plans as artists? I know it's too far ahead, but what would you like to still do on stage?
I'd like to go to Juilliard's.
Okay.
And then after I go to Juilliard's, I'd like to go to Broadway.
Mary?
Me, I want to go on, but with the opera stage play while I'm growing up. I want to be with the operas like that. So it's because it's my talent to sing, to dance, to act. Yes.
And we're not even talking about playing here, but you're not still chucking that out, right? You're not.
Yeah.
You're still there.
We're trying to enjoy our childhood.
And this is part of what you're enjoying. And speaking about playing, what are the play dates for this production?
Oh yeah.
The remainder of September.
Yeah. The last show will be on 28th. The rest of the shows will be playing every weekend
At
8 o'clock.
where?
And then at Resorts World Manila,
Newport's Performing Arts Theater.
Yeah.
Good news is if students want to watch this,
Yes. If students want to watch, just present your ID to Ticket World and they'll give you a 500 peso balcony.
discount.
and you do recommend that they catch this
Yes.
before they even read the novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for starting so early. On that note, thank you very much both for joining us this morning. Egoo Velasco and Mari Yapjoco.
Thank you for
playing
having us.
Basilio and Crispin in Noli, Tangere, the opera. Hot Copy will be right back. Timig Handog 2014 finalists KZ Tandingan and Jovid Balderino will join us after the break. You're watching Headstart. Guys,